look now. Our next race here at the Macau Grand Prix, as we take a look down at the famous 100 of Ivan Muller, taking in some last-minute fluids. It's been an eventful weekend for the touring car. Some big stories, like this man leading the championship, Esteban Guerrieri of Argentina. And look, he's not at the sharp end, he's at the back. What's he doing back there? Not good for Esteban. And of course, he's in a big battle with Norbert Michelitz, but he too has had incidents as well. So, lots of stories to tell you about, but we've got plenty of time to tell you about those stories. But the big story of all has to be this one. Esteban Guerrieri, 1986, will start right at the back, having had an engine rechange. And here is the grid. Ivan Muller and Michelitz alongside each other. The DHL pole position man going to Ivan Muller with a 2:28.6. Andy Priaulx and Kekon of Italy, then Erlascher and Bjork, 5th and 6th, then Rob Huff and Tarquini alongside each other, two of the greats from Macau, and that's going to be an interesting battle to see how they can come through. Lauter, he had problems yesterday, and Azcona, the young Spaniard, also having an incident in practice. Vervish, former winner here at Macau, and Nicky Katzberg, also very competitive here at Macau, but a long way back. Dahlgren coming in for the first time as a street specialist to help the Cupras towards the championship. Alongside them, Thiago Monteiro. Then Christopherson and Jean-Carl Vernet, all the way down in 16th position. And Girolami and Panis alongside each other on the grid, one in a Civic, one in a Cupra TCR. And Mehdi Benani and Tassi. Tassi coming here for the first time. Had an incident in the first practice. And then 21st is Langeveld in the Audi. And Luca Ensler in the Hyundai, the young German, racing Macau for the first time. Tom Coronel isn't racing for the first time. It's the umpteenth time. And alongside him, Ma, who was given a penalty, and likewise the Mecanese driver, Lowe. And Guerrieri, as I mentioned, with that change of engine, going right to the very back. That's how they qualified in the first qualifying practice. And of course, we had the drama of yesterday afternoon where we had a second and third qualifying practice, or qualifying 1, 2, and 3 for races 2 and 3. And so that's how we line up today. So it's certainly an important race, given that Michelitz is right at the front and just going through his paces at the moment in the Hyundai. Just last minute thought. Do you think he's asleep there, Alan?
No, he's getting in the zone. Meditation is something that Andy Priaulx first told me about before the start of the race, and it worked very well for him in his racing career, early in the career as well. The visualization of the first lap, the start of the race, they can go through the whole of the opening lap, just visualizing what they want to happen, what's going to happen as they make their way around, and getting into that almost trance-like state before the start of a race is something that can very much work to their advantage.
And here's the youngster, Mikel Azcona from Spain, 229.683. 5th at the moment in the championship on 198 points. Now, this is the penultimate round of the WTCR series, and they head to Sepang in a few weeks' time to finish it all off. So 3 point scoring races, including points in qualifying. And in fact, those qualifying points have proved very, very significant. Not just that Guerrieri is at the back, but the fact that after qualifying shuffle, the 6 point gap has gone down to 2 points.
Just 2 points between the two of them. This is the one that Michelitz really needs to capitalise on. He's got the advantage. He's at the very front of the field, and the championship points leader, Esteban Guerrieri, is right at the back of the field. So Michelitz cannot afford to throw these potential huge point scoring result away. He needs to absolutely capitalise on this. Not necessarily for the championship, take the race win. Ivan Muller could essentially take the maximum points here, but Michalowicz just needs to make sure he makes the most of this.
The young German focusing on here in the Volkswagen, a 229.6. Didn't get the best qualifying. 16th at the moment, and he is a WTCR rookie this year, and looking for a good result here at Macau, his first time out. And of course, touring cars have moved on to the TCR Challenge now, and that's pretty much universal. There are national championships and international championships. I've been involved in the TCR Asia Championship this year, which Luca Ensler was part of and the winner of. He's in this race, and we also had visits from Mr. Huff and Tarquini and Pepe Oriola, who has been a stalwart of the Macau Grand Prix as well. So it's growing quickly, and these cars are, the beauty of these cars is that they are affordable race cars, but in the hands of someone like this, and that's Gabriele Tarquini. Look at that, born in 1962. He's with all the hills.
A long way from that. This is the scene of claiming the title last year. Reigning champion.
World Touring Car champion in 2009 and WTCR champion in 2018.
And I'll throw my bit in, also a BTCC champion as well.
There you
go.
go.
Romeo.
Some local celebrities getting a look at what the go is here in World Touring Cars, and of course Suncity inviting them along to be part of the festivities.
Three races they get this weekend, and when we look towards tomorrow, I think we might be talking about this man quite a lot.
Yes, Rob Huff. He's won this event 9 times as Rob. Not had the greatest of seasons, and in fact, for race 3, he'll be pole position, but a 227.9, his best lap. And from Cambridgeshire originally, 11th in the championship, so you see what I mean. He's off his game a little bit in terms of the overall championship. It's been a bit disappointing season for him, but Macau never disappoints. Not for Rob and not for us watching.
There are few that get close to Rob Huff around the Macau circuit, and well, one of them has returned. We'll be talking about him in a couple of moments, and that's the 3-time world champion, world touring car champion, Andy Priaulx, who's back this weekend, which is great to see.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see, especially this first race, where it's quite a mixed-up bunch in terms of where we know the form guide is, having watched all the qualifying sessions, like you say. Rob Huff is very quick, so is Ted Bjork. And here is Ted's car, number 11. And there's no question that Andy Priaulx can make his way through, but it's so hard to overtake here. Touring cars has always been popular here. Ted Bjork, the former world champion of World Touring Cars of 2017, the Swedish youngster, currently 3rd in the championship, so still very much in the hunt for this year's championship on 248. And he put on quite a show coming around Donna Maria, didn't he, in qualifying? A show of sheer brilliance to hang on to a car that was definitely out of control.
It was impressive to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But he held on to it to finish his qualifying lap. So we send the car out to check on the safety of the circuit to make sure it's all clean and ready to go.
Jan Erlaché.
Erlaché, that's the right pronunciation.
Oh, he pronounced it beautifully. I asked him, and he said Jan Erlaché. So the nephew...
Have you been knocking on hotel rooms again?
Of Ivan Muller. No, I stalked him and Uncle Ivan as they walked back to the hotel.
Fair enough.
Because my geography is not particularly good here at Macau. A lot of the streets look similar. So I thought, they'll know their way back, so I'll follow them.
Erlaché, a former French touring car champion, and really just making his way now, like you say, the nephew of Uncle Ivan Muller, who, of course, is in this race. It's kind of poetic. I love the fact that we've got an uncle and nephew racing alongside each other, and just as competitive as well. It's really good to see. And the youngster definitely taking it to the old fella. but the old fella's still got some pretty wily tricks. Kevin Chekon is in the Alfa Romeo, which we've already decided is one of the most pretty looking machines here.
Pretty touring car, that, isn't it?
Italian, his best fast fact, if you like, 2011 Auto GP champion. And currently 18th in the championship with 94 points. So pretty much out of the running for the title, but like I said, even though this is part of the championship, it's just that it still remains Macau, a bit of a one-off really. Crowd on their feet, starting to realize that we're getting ready to go racing again. It's always great to see these big toys getting ready to go racing. And talking of Andy Priaulx, as you were earlier, Andy Priaulx lines up in the 111 machine, 111, defining the fact that he is a three-time World Touring Car Champion, one of the greats. From Guernsey, a 228.586, his son Sebastian following in his footsteps, not yet in this series, but coming fast. Andy's not had the best of season, and it would be great to turn things around here at Macau, and he's capable of doing it.
We saw that in the shootout for the grid for race 2 of the weekend yesterday afternoon. He was so close to Rob Huff, wasn't he? Priaulx is back. He claimed those titles, those world titles, pretty much clinched them here at Macau because he was such a specialist around here in his era. Very, very impressive. And he hasn't lost any of it.
And the Hyundai Motorsport Luke Oil car, perfectly presented. And Hyundai have put a lot of effort into TCR around the world this year. And this man is effectively their #1 driver. Michelitz, Norbert Michelitz, the Hungarian.
And you know what? In 8 laps' time, he could be leading the championship.
Yeah, I kind of presume he will be. He's second at the moment on 286 points in the BRC Hyundai squad. And there's no question that Norbert has the capabilities, as you say. He's won here before.
I love the commitment of Hyundai to motorsport, global motorsport, not just to the TCR regulations in the cars that we see in the World Touring Car Cup, but also in World Rallying as well. It's very impressive.
Norbert Michelitz with the most number of wins this year too, on 4 wins so far.
Just saw the 4-time champion. Ivan Muller is the definition of a racing driver who's cool. At every moment.
Well, let's talk about him. He's done it all. He's a 4-time World Touring Car Champion. And look at the accolades these guys have got between them all. 228.661, the pole man. And the Frenchman has been synonymous with winning. 4th at the moment, though, on 245. But very much in the hunt is Muller. He's had 2 wins this season.
And 50 years old just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it. Supremely fit is Ivan Muller.
And he started the weekend in 4th position, only about 8 points off Ted Bjork. So there's a lot of stories here as we go on the warm-up lap for what will be the shortest of the races that these touring cars will be involved in. 8 laps is all, but it'll be enough to create drama.
Yeah, they get an 11-lap race for race 3 of the weekend, and it's not the championship finale this year.
Pick out anybody you want, but it's Muller and Michelitz, Priaulx and Chekon, then Erlasher and Bjork. 5th and 6th. Huff, Tarquini, 7th and 8th. That's going to be a good battle from the start. Lautner and Azcona, the Spaniard. Verviche and Katzberg. Dahlgren and Montiero. Christopherson, Rallycross champion, and Jean-Carl Vernet. Girolami, the Argentine, and Panis, the Frenchman. Benanani, the Moroccan, and Langeveld and Ensler. Coronel returning again to Macau for the umpteenth time. Penalties for Mar, Lowe and Guerrieri, who starts at the very back. How far can he get? The championship's on the line. He needs a result out of this. I'm going to put you on watch for Guerrieri.
Well, we've just seen in the GT race here at Macau, Augusto Farfus in a BMW that wasn't quite on the pace all weekend making up places by driving neatly and making the most of the situations. The car still wasn't on the pace of the front runners, but he got a fourth place result. So Guerrieri, if he's careful, keeps out of trouble, could do a similar job.
And Norbert Michelis has got a choice here. He either goes for glory and tries to prove he's better than Ivan Muller.
I don't think he will.
Or he settles behind Muller and just takes the laurels and takes the championship lead. I know which I choose.
I don't think Michelis is going to risk anything here, and Ivan Muller is going to be a rather tough nut to crack, I reckon. You could see how happy he was after the half an hour of qualifying that put him on the pole position yesterday, and he'd like nothing better to stand on the top step of the podium. Let's not forget, Ivan Muller decided that, you know what, I think it's time for me to not do this anymore, and he's reinvigorated now. He's loved the challenge this year with the Macau, and he's back enjoying his racing like he used to.
How many times has he retired?
Oh, just once. And he's not going to announce his retirement anymore. He has made that statement. He'll just quietly not race. Just in case.
Quietly not race. I like it.
But I think the important thing here is that he's reinvigorated.
Here's your driver points. Just 2 points between Guerrieri, who starts at the back, and Michelis, who starts at the front. York is third, and Muller, the man we've been talking about, is fourth. Azcona in fifth place, and Girolami, who starts also way back, is in sixth place. Tarquini, Erlasher, Verne, Christopherson, Huff in 11th, and Verviche 12th. So that's the championship standings as we go into this, the penultimate weekend for the championship. Team standings look like this: 4-9-3 and 4-8-4, just 9 points between Cyan Racing, Link and Co. and the allinkl.com motorsport team.
Ivan Muller, he's won 2 races this year, both in China. And bear in mind that with 25 points available for a race win, Ivan Muller would have by no means given up on the chance of being a champion this year.
Which is why this fight with Michelis is important, because it could be, with Guerrieri at the back, that Muller becomes Michelis's closest rival at the end of this race. Fantastic shot from on board. That's what it looks like to be getting ready on the front row of an international touring car race from Macau. Muller is ready, we are ready. The grid is still forming though. Such is the depth of the field here.
28 cars, and the 28th car is the car driven by the championship leader, Esteban Guerrieri.
This is going to have to be a very big drive.
But also,
so, race one about to get underway here in Macau. Away they go, and a good start from the leader. Muller gets away well. Michelin slots into second place.
Priaulx got a good start off the line as well.
And now the run towards Mandarin. What a host of fantastic touring car sight here as they funnel down towards the Mandarin curve. All jostling for position. Montiero taking an inside, what will become outside move. Everybody cleanly through. Surprise, surprise. As we go on board, down towards Lisboa. Good start from Muller, and as you said, good start from Priaulx as well.
Erlasher having a look down on the outside of Priaulx there.
Wow, they've all got through. Fantastic stuff.
Oh, good news.
Michelin's still at the back. Excuse me, Guerrieri's still at the back. Michelin's out the front, very much so. Second place for him as they head towards Hospital Bend.
Yep, they are currently in a Link & Co sandwich with Priaulx, Erlasher just behind, and Ivan Muller at the front of the field.
Checon in fourth, Erlasher in fifth place, Bjorn in sixth, Rob Huff in seventh place, Gabriele Tarquini in eighth. This is a real sprint race, this one. You've got to get it done, you've got to get it done fast. Not a lot of time to mess about. Can't build up the speed, you've got to go straight from the very get-go.
Well, I think what we've seen so far is Michelis doing exactly that. He's not going to take any risks. He knows Ivan Muller makes great starts, always has done, does Ivan Muller. And at various points in his career has been utterly dominant as a touring car driver in pretty much whichever touring car form he was given.
Rob Huff looks as though he's got past Ted Muir, and that's a place up for Rob Huff. We'll keep an eye on that too. How was our start for Guerrieri? Well, I know he stayed at the back. We'll watch them all file through here at the Melco. It's a huge field, but so far, touch wood, all cleanly through. Here is Ted Muir, and there is Rob Huff in front of him.
At the back of that battle, just behind the top three, with Muller, Michelis and Prio. Prio running this weekend, number 111, running it all season. 1-1 for every championship won. Three-time world champion.
I like it. So they come out of our bend for the first time to complete the first lap. And now we'll start to see the flying laps start to begin. The tyres are up to temperature. And the cars are warmed up, and we are ready to see some real racing now. Check on, Jinx out. Tries to have a look at Erlasher, and now he looks to the inside. He's right there glued with him, surely. Huff just behind. Whoa, Huff almost on three wheels then. Checks out again. Just can't quite get the pace to get past Erlasher. We'll have to wait as they break into Lisboa.
Over the line, the advantage that Muller had over Louis Michelis in second place, 1.1 seconds.
Oh, no! 33, that's Lautner getting out there. He's taken the 96 of Ascona with him. And also the Leopard, number 69.
Jean-Carl Vernet had already been off.
Yeah, Vernet had already gone down the slipstream, so he was not affected by that. But 33,
so
he's got it going.
He can reverse back. Leuchter can get underway. We haven't mentioned, of course, we are missing the Leopard car of Gordon Shedden, sadly, the three-time British touring car champion. The car damaged yesterday in qualifying and not able to be repaired here at the Macau Grand Prix, so unfortunately has to sit out for the rest of the weekend, which is a big, big shame. He's a huge talent, is Gordon Shedden, and really hasn't been able to shine this year in the way that we know he can.
Well, Ben Lautner did get his car started again, and it looks as though everybody involved in that incident is actually going to maintain a chance to complete this race, as we're on board with Ted Biol headed towards Donna Maria. And it is green back at T3. Meanwhile, the British flag painted on the tin top of Rob Huff as he goes in pursuit now of Chekhov. Look at this, really close start. Muller pulling away slightly. We'll get some real indication of the speed and times of the laps of each individual after this as they come through Fisherman's Bend. Flat out in fourth gear through there.
Kevin Chekhov is looking pretty threatening, isn't he?
Yeah.
For some time on Yann Erlacher, just in front in the Lincoln Co. There's Kevin Chekhov in the very pretty Alfa Romeo. Just behind, he's got Rob Huff.
And interestingly enough, the fastest man on track, or at least the fastest of the leaders, was Andy Prio, a 2:32.3, just slightly quicker than both Michelis and Muller ahead of him.
Yeah, but how about this? Gabriele Tarquini, the reigning champion, fastest lap of the race so far, a 2:32.173, down there in 8th place in car number 1.
How the mighty changed, because Tarquini was the first big incident we had here this weekend, if you remember.
He was. He had a couple of incidents.
A policeman's and prang the car. Not like we're expecting of a world champion.
What we are expecting is that he puts in a fastest lap, and that's exactly what he's done.
3 of the 8 completed here. You're at the Macau Grand Prix with me, Jonathan Green, and Alan Hyde, as we bring you the action from day one. Coming up next, it's the Motorcycle Grand Prix. We turn to 2 wheels, but this is the best of 4 wheels in touring car spec. WTCR.
And look at this battle. We said that
he's really laying it to him, isn't he?
Chekon was looking pretty tempting there to take the place away from Jan Lachey, and it might be at the end of this lap. Alfa Romeo looking very neat and tidy, and impressive that.
Fastest first split by Frederick Verviche. He's all the way down in 9th position though. Everybody upping the pace just slightly now, and as you say, Chekon really looking aggressive, and now Huff's come into play as well, because as Erlacher seemingly is holding this group behind him up a little bit. He's not quite as quick. Erlacher's last time at 1:32.5, and yeah, I'm right in saying that all of the men behind him, including Tarquini, were quicker.
Ivan Muller it is that leads, makes his way down from the Macau hairpin. They're going to be concluding 3 laps at the end of this. But Michelitz, as things stand at the moment, will take over the championship lead at the end of this race. Once again, Chekon showing his intention to Jan Lachey. About to complete now. 3 laps will go in the book in this 8-lap sprint.
They come to the line again.
Oh, problem for Lachey.
Yeah, he's definitely, there's something wrong. He's just not himself in terms of speed. Anyway, we'll take a look at his lap time here as he almost lets his teammate through. Prio still 3rd.
Well, I think he's gone from
he's gone
4th place
to
down
7th
to 7th.
now. Yeah. I think he's given up the ghost a little bit. There must be some sort of problem. We go on board with Verviche, who just did a 2:33.2. Look at him gliding through the Mandarin. It's a wonderful sight. Tarquini and Verviche, as Verviche has got past Tarquini.
You know what? The gap between Muller and Michelitz has come down to less than 1 second. It's 0.8 of a second at the end of 3 laps. Now, relative lap times, 2:32.745 for Ivan Muller, 2:32.441 for Norbert Michelitz.
Well, Guerrieri, thanks to several incidents, is now 22nd, and those incidents include Ascona Vernet and Billy Lowe, also also the German, having problems, and that's allowed Guerrieri up to 22nd. That's still not good enough. He needs to start making his way through the field if he can, because Michelitz, like you say, is now edging on a possible lead of this race.
Jean-Carl Vernet down there in 24th place after that recovery required after a lot of time lost down at Lisboa. Well, he's up for it. He's just put in the fastest lap of the race, 2:32.109.
An intriguing battle. Such a huge history of touring car races here. The Guia race, as it's called, by those that know the history here at the Macau Grand Prix. And here's your live virtual driver's points. 306 to Michelitz. Guerrieri would drop to 18 points, and Muller would move to 3rd.
That's impressive, isn't it? Just 36 behind Michelitz, if things stay as they are for Ivan Muller. Never give up, Ivan Muller.
Yeah, and I tell you what, there's a lot of points still up for grabs here, and then we go on to Sepang, and so there's plenty yet to come from this 2019 championship. They roll off down the hill again towards Fisherman's. Very tight race this. There's really not a lot between any of the top 10. They're all on very similar times, being led by Ivan Muller as we go on board once again with Frederick Verviche in the number 22 as he dives into the last corner. Fettling the throttle as he goes through. 2:33.0 from Muller. 2:32.7 from Michelitz. He is catching fast. The gap now half a second between them. Prio on good form, 32.8. But quicker was Chekon on that last lap. The man in the number 31, Alfa Romeo, doing a 2:32.3. His best lap of the race as we now look for Verviche to make a move. Here's Michelitz, he's having a look.
He is having a look at Ivan Muller. It was 0.5 of a second between the two of them as they crossed the line at the end of the halfway point.
Huff under pressure from Bjorg as well as they dive through, and Verviche has gone through on Erlacher.
So Jan Lachey down to 8th place. There is a problem with that car, isn't there? What a shame for the young man.
Yeah.
Now down in 8th place. Good news.
It can't be terminal though. It's probably missing a gear or something, but for whatever reason, he is dropping down the order quite dramatically. Ted Bjork doing a good job now staying with Rob Huff. Just got his personal best first split. Meanwhile, the gap between Muller and Michelitz, just half a second.
Guia not making up a place, you know.
Yeah, it's not going to be a sensational run from the back, is it?
If you wanted any track to not have to make a charge through the field from,
it would be this one.
It's this one. Ivan Muller it is that leads from Norbert Michelitz.
Well, you can see how close Michelitz is, and I guess strategy-wise, Macau is one of those races you can't overtake here, right? You can't physically overtake, or it's very hard to. Now, you can't overtake in this section because it's a full course yellow. So the idea is you tuck yourself in if you're Norbert Michelitz and get as close as you can here, get good drive out of the Melco hairpin, and then roll as quickly as you can and get as close as you can to the man in front down this very fast section where you're going right through the gearbox and you're going up to 6th gear and then dropping down to 4th, but it's a very fast section this, and that lines you up for the run for the 2 kilometers down towards Lisboa again, and that's exactly what Vervish is doing now. Coming up to that last corner R bend, he drops down through the gearbox into 3rd gear through here. And now, power on, 4th gear. He'll click 5th as he turns to the left, and he does just that. Got good drive through there. Now he's got the slingshot. Up to 6th now. And Vervish, can he do it? No, he's just in the wrong position. He needs to stay on line through Mandarin. Too risky.
Good car to be on board with as well. Vervish putting in the fastest lap of the race on that last lap, 2:31.8.
He's going to the outside for a late braking manoeuvre at Lisboa, and he's not quite pulled that one off. Good racing, good on boards to watch and see these masters at work.
The Audi's flying, isn't it?
It is.
Really good pace from Vervish.
Nothing's changed at the front. Muller and Michelitz now, the gap 0.6. So Muller just holding station. Prio still there in 3rd place, looking to get some major points.
And a first podium of the year as well.
Right, yeah, lest we not forget there's a yellow flag at yellow. We've had another incident by the looks of things. Or somebody's run on. No, we've had a big incident. In fact, it is 2 cars running on, but there's a lot of smoke and haze out there. What's going on? Because it's looks like Ma, one of the guys, that's Kunhua Ma of China. And there is quite a lot of smoke down there. I don't know what's happened there. But anyway, the Team Molzan Alfa Romeo Giulietto of Ma is out. And there you can see for yourself. Langefeld is the other car involved in that incident, but they're both out and they're both going nowhere. So the Audi and the Alfa. So at least he's in a place where he can get out. He can't get out the driver's side, unfortunately.
The race is still live. We've only got a yellow in sector 2.
That's true.
So Ivan Muller presses on. Back on board with Vervish. And at the end of lap 5, Ivan Muller, the advantage, 0.7 of a second or thereabouts.
Here's your top 3.
Top 4, top 5, they're all so close.
Yeah, and Chekon, Huff and Bjorg have done a really good job in the last laps, and Vervish, as you mentioned, putting in that fastest lap a moment ago, and that's just given us a sort of 8-way battle towards the end of this. Look at this, fantastic stuff as they cross the line. Let's have a look at the times. Fastest man this time, it looks like Ted Bjork with a 2:31.9, his fastest lap of the race. And that was excellent stuff to hold off Vervish. Here they come, though. Line astern down towards the Mandarin. What a sight.
Look at Chekon on the back of the Lincoln Co. of Andy Prio. And I'm pretty sure that Andy Prio is going to be determined to take his first podium of the year. What can he do about defending from the Alfa Romeo? Slippery turn at Lisboa. That's where they're going through now.
Well, that's because whatever happened, there was a lot of smoke, and it looked as though it may well have been Mars' car that was causing that, but all will be revealed, as they say. 7 of the 8 laps gone. This is a cracking battle, an 8-way battle almost, all the way back to Erlasher in 8th position. You go as far as 9th in Tarquini because he's right on the pace too.
It's all closed up, hasn't it? Goodness me. One long train thread their way through the mountain section.
Fantastic for
They're
Beach.
all closed up.
Just ahead of Erlasher and Tarquini. They've got a bit of a gap, but that's all. Here's your leader, Muller. Looking back to Norbert Michelis. Narrowly just brushing the famous walls here at Macau. It is totally unforgiving. Here into Police, under braking. And here's a look at, that's Guerrieri in the pits. So whatever he was hoping for has not come to be. And in fact, he's not even going to finish the race. Very, very sad.
And you know what? There is a light at the end of this tunnel, in as much as the grid for race 2 is not determined from the finishing positions for race 1.
Correct.
Because if it was, then that's a really bad weekend.
Well, it's going to be an interesting finish to this one because the championship has just been burst wide open with that non-finish by Guerrieri of Argentina, who came here with an 8-point lead and with a very fast car. But for whatever reason, it's all gone horribly wrong, including an engine change, a decision made by the team. But, well, if it's not going to work, there's no point in having it in the car. So they made that decision early. And here we come.
About to complete 7 laps out of 8 for our first race of the weekend for the touring cars.
They cross the line again. Muller leads the race. Norbert Michelis is second.
Still 0.7 behind.
Yeah, the gap's still 0.7, but you can make that up under braking. Chekon is 4th. Rob Huff, the mighty Huff, is in 5th place. Former champion Bjork is in 6th place.
Ivan Muller it is that leads. Now, I can't think for a moment that Michelis is going to risk anything on this final lap, but he's looking pretty threatening as they go down towards Lisboa.
So too is Brio.
Surely not.
Brio looking very threatening as well as we go back on board with Vervish. This is the final lap, and we all know it. Look at them queuing up for a chance to overtake. Trying to force your competitor into a mistake and find a gap that just isn't there at Macau, I'm afraid.
It's right on the tail of Ivan Muller. In turn, Chekon right on the tail of Andy Prio. So Prio has dropped back a little bit from Michelis because he's having to keep it very, very neat and tight and tidy from the very threatening Alfa Romeo of Chekon in 4th place.
Hats off to Muller, though. He's driven a brilliant race. Chekon's the most likely to make a move, and it's on Prio if he's going to do it. You can see how close he is to the rear of the Guernseyman. But Muller has done what he does best, which is a clean race and a fast race. And try as he might, Norbert Michelis, who will lead this championship after this race is over. And what a mighty and intense championship it's been. And what a race this has been. Very, very tight indeed. The top 8, you can throw a blanket over them. Unbelievable. But Muller is going to take the Melco for the last time, and that's how close the Hyundai Lukoil getting its sponsorship fully in our faces. And out of the Melco comes the Audi of Vervish. So Muller on his way in the 100. If you head down to the gambling wheels tonight, pick 100. I don't think there is one, but never mind. Norbert Michelis looks to the inside, but he's just not close enough to make a move. And Ivan Muller of France will take yet another victory at the Macau Grand Prix. There's the checkered flag. And Muller wins. And, oh, Chekon did get past Rob Huff. And Chekon gets 3rd place ahead of Rob Huff, who got past Bjork.
It was past Prio, wasn't it? Because Prio finishes in 6th place.
So Prio must have had a mistake.
So Prio doesn't get that podium.
Oh, what a shame. He'd driven so well.
Chekon and Huff, 3rd and 4th. Ted Bjork is 5th, and Prio is 6th.
I'm trying to work out what happened to Prio there, because we were concentrating quite rightly on the leaders, but can only have been in that last sector, because I know that going towards Police anyway, he was still 3rd.
So, Prio robbed of a first podium of the year. So, in fairness, Kevin Chekon was looking superb race long in the Alfa Romeo. So, thoroughly deserves a podium reward. And with Muller and Michelitz on the podium is coming up very soon. And 2 more World Touring Car races to look forward to tomorrow. But a 4-time champion takes another win at Macau. Ivan Muller, pole, and the inch-perfect race for the Lincoln Co.
Now, let's have a look at what's going on in the background. Here comes Michelitz. At this point, Prio is still third. Now, what happens? Now, he just literally pulls out the way. And I think maybe that's interesting. I think maybe he's thinking more in terms of letting the championship race, as he's not part of it. Maybe he can help a teammate or two, and that's, I think, what Prio was thinking. Would you agree? He's trying to let Ted Bjork pass.
I hadn't thought about that. I thought
Bjork is in the championship chase, and so that's a smart move by.
But I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Championship points for Bjork, and Prio not going to get involved in that.
No.
Known to be the ultimate
gentleman,
professional. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened, because there was definitely no incident. He didn't come through fisherman's out of shape or anything like that. So
the franchise were smiling, weren't they, of Ivan Muller, 4-time champion, and took a perfect win here at Macau. Norbert Michelitz is our new championship leader.
Yes, and well deserved too. Started second, held on to second, pushed, but not too hard. Sensible drive, and a good result. Chekon definitely picked up the pieces well there to take the podium. Good for him. Now remember, 3 races in all for the touring cars. They have a race early in the morning, tomorrow morning at 8:20.
Sorry? Early morning tomorrow, 8:20. 8 laps for the touring cars.
Yep, and then they have another race just a little bit later at 11. Race 3, 11 laps, as you say. So, yeah, that'll be our first action on track tomorrow, in fact. So, looking forward to that.
And I think we're about to see a great celebration for Ivan Muller. He's been quoted as saying that he's really got the thrill back of doing what he's done so brilliantly all his working life, and back to winning ways, Ivan Muller. 2 wins in China and another one at Macau.
The music plays for Ivan Muller. The Frenchman pops out